back and I'm gonna videotape it.
Well, we may not find anything.
Well, we may not, but then I can show that I really went through the process.
Having me look at it is not the process.
Yeah. Well, no, but you're so helpful. And you're doing stuff that there's no way I would ever figure. And by the way, this is Debbie. She's the expert.
Yeah, right. I am. What we probably about the only thing you're going to be able to find is so these are documentaries and stuff talking about him. Here's his children.
Okay. It'll give bios on individual, what the children did and what the names they took up and all that.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's pretty detailed. And we're looking for, what's his name again? His Indian name?
The only known
Living
Through
trace their lineage through their son and his daughter,
through
Amy.
the son of his daughter.
Well, that doesn't show any woman, and there shows a direct
Yeah.
thing,
Well,
line. To
this
him.
is the thing: is if you want to be okay, so. Native, here's a documentary of Native history, Alex. Okay.
King Philip.
Yes, I have read about King Philip, so.
Okay, known to the English.
So they gave him an English name of Alexander.
They did.
But let's see. That's the wife. Details. There's the chief. Let's see. That's the father. This is Alexander.
I need to be able to explain this. That's why I'm trying to record it.
Well, there's some problems here. Because this says he was born in 1525, but his mother was also born in 1525.
1616, and his is 1617 to his death date.
Yeah, so this,
Are they confusing the same person?
I don't know. Something's wrong here.
25, yeah.
But that's, I'm not sure which, you see, there was several Massasoits. So was it this Massasoit? Because this one is the same age as that one. I think, oh, I see what it is. This is the same as this. They've got some mix-ups here. And this one is the same as this one.
Oh, who did that? How do you straighten that out?
And then this is the one that you're through is
Yeah,
Alexander.
yeah. And is that the same person?
Alexander is 74. Yeah, this is all messed up in here, so I don't know what's right. But they have them as they are their own parents and children.
Okay, now how do I explain this? Oh boy. Okay, so
Yeah. I mean, there's,
can you go through and explain that one more time? I'm going to get a good beat on this.
okay.
And if you could just take it through.
So, in Family Search, it has Chief Wasanagan,
Use the pointer
Wasanag,
to use the pointer.
Massasoit,
Yeah.
Wampanoag. And the difficulty is here, if you look down at the family members,
Use the pointer
they
to-
are, this is the same as this, so they are their own parent and children. So
Okay.
somebody has created some interesting problems, and there's a whole bunch of difficulties with these children and families, and there's several copies. So what's happened is different people have created these people and have connected them incorrectly. Now the one that your family is through Alexander, and there was, according to documentary histories as listed in memories, two of his children took
Two of whose?
two of the chief Massasoit, how do you say it?
Massasoit.
Massasoit's sons did take English names. One took the name Alexander, who apparently is your line, according to Family Search, and then the other one is Philip. And I'm not sure which one it is that's Philip. It might be this one.
Okay.
Alexander was murdered, poisoned by the settlers.
Did he have any
Yes,
issue?
he had children.
He had children. Do we know what children were his?
He did have children, but we don't know.
So that's the missing link then. As far as any connection to us with him.
Well, yes and no. You see, in Family Search, that's the problem. So, Peter Alexander. Okay. So here's some problems. A lot of problems. It was through Ausamequin.
As long as you use the pointer, we're okay.
Yeah, so there were several. So it's his grandson that we're looking at. Okay. Yeah. There's just a lot of messes in here.
Okay.
That need to be cleared up. There are records of who these people are, and it does need to be cleaned up. It says that you are through the Alexander line,
Okay.
is how you are related to this family. Through Alva
Jedediah.
Jeduthan Alexander,
Yeah, right.
born in 1831.
Right.
And he was the one, it's through this Alexander line.
Right.
That goes back to Peter Alexander, who married a Sarah Roberts.
Right.
So this connection here may or may not be. Now, DNA is difficult to pin down because DNA dissipates every generation, and you are going back over 10 generations, 11 generations.
Right, and it
from
only
your
goes
current.
back accurately 7, you say?
7 generations is kind of the most that you can determine that, yes,
And
this
it goes
is.
into area.
Well, you can kind of see where other people have come from, but after 7 generations, there's no way to know.
Just an extrapolation. Then.
Yeah, it's guesswork after 7 generations.
Okay.
That's why you should always have the oldest person in each generation take a DNA test.
Yeah.
Because they're 1 generation closer.
Okay.
So this is the problem. This needs to be all cleaned up.
Mm-hmm.
I could see if I'm related to them, and then I would feel like, oh, this is my family, so I could clean it up. But there are, if you look at, like, say, Wamsuddin Munam Alexander Pokanoket, he was known as Warm Heart. He was king of the Wampanoags, and he was given the name Alexander after his grandfather. So, oh yes, we've got, yeah. So there's just a bunch of problems here. Anyways, and he married, these were the last full Native Americans. And then let's see what the next relationship is here. Your 8th great-grandfather. Well, there you go. You might be able to, because Peter's your 7th great-grandfather. So he was full, but he married a Sarah Roberts. Yeah, this is where Peter was still Native American, but then it looks like he married, there's only one source, and it's from a family tree. So yes, there are not sources here, so at this point I would not believe that you are related. Let's see what the notes say. And there's some questions. So that is the difficulty.
Yeah, Peter Alexander.
Yeah.
And
Somebody says, what is your source for the link to his?
Let me read this one. It's hard to read on this.
It says, one of my great-grandmothers had a story about her ancestor, Massasoit, in her memories. So it's a great-grandmother did have a story about her. So that was probably
the source.
one of the sources. I have been researching this line. I'm curious, how are we linking Peter Alexander to Wamsuta Pakonat, A.K. Alexander? He is linked as a son along with Laughing Water and Weekum, but I cannot find any sources than People's Trees, and People's Trees are not sources.
Yeah, that's the conclusion that my sister's
Yeah.
son, who's a very good genealogist,
Yeah.
came up with.
So,
Says that it's highly unlikely.
yeah, it is highly unlikely because...
Okay, so he's right.
Yeah, there's just...
We were so hopeful to have
Well,
some Indian blood in us. That would be great.
yeah, which, I mean, it's still possible, but there's just no way to prove it at this point. It would be interesting to see there are some documentaries and things, so it
I
would
wish
be...
we could easily change that, though, because that's confusing a lot of people.
Well, you
things like
can
that.
easily change it, but it's going to take somebody who's a Native American researcher
Mm-hmm.
and who does New England research. That's not me.
Yeah.
But if somebody was willing to do a lot of good research, it
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
worthwhile.
Yeah. It takes some dinero to do that.
Yeah. So
Okay. Well, that's
it.
I promised to do my due diligence, and I think that I've pretty much done what I set out to do. So thank you so much again. I appreciate it. I'll just end this here.